Hello everybody and welcome back to my page. So first let me apologize for not having my video up at the very beginning of the month, but it's been pretty busy around here with my mom coming and getting the kids with all of their, we still had homeschool. You know, most people took their December break off. We did homeschool every single day of December except Christmas Day. So we were trying to get caught back up with that. And my mom actually just left yesterday, so she was here all the way through the first Friday in January. And it's just been really crazy. We're here in North Carolina, and there was supposed to be some wintry weather mix coming in, so we were trying to get situated for that, get all the groceries and things that we needed over the last couple of days. And it really just gave me a little bit of time to get this video up. And I thought about it. I was like, well, I could just put a video up, but I had a couple resources that I wanted to share, and I really wanted it to be a full and complete video. So I opted to do it later than to actually do it and just throw it together. So I hope that there's grace and forgiveness for not having it up. I will in the future try to have them up on either the last day or the day before the last day of the month. Just so we can start the month off with the budget. But it's January, it's 2017. I've got some goals in my heart and my mind over my finances, and I'm just going to share with you my January budget. So I hope everybody is ready. First thing, let me show you this. My daughter was cleaning out her car. I actually did a car caddy video. I don't know if I posted it on my channel, where I actually put a bag that I got from Walmart. It looks like similar to a 31 bag, but it's not a 31 bag, to clean out her car. And as she was cleaning out her car, she had this awesome, lovely polka dotted, this is Pink Chandelier brand. She never did take that little sticker off, but the Pink Chandelier brand, it's turquoise polka dots, and I absolutely love it. She's like, oh mom, here, you can have it. Cleaned out my car, just take it. So I was excited about it. And then I actually just decided to do a budget binder. I have had one of these before, and I actually have one of these in my home management binder. But the reason that I decided to do it is I update my budget so often, and then I print off a new copy. I only have 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 copies of my budget because I'm trying to see how my money is flowing. So I thought, put it all in one thing, have it contained, and not worry about it. And I actually usually keep it in my planner, but the planner pages don't have holes, so I can't punch it and put it in. Anyway, so I went online and I was looking up budget binder printables, and I found one, 30 Handmade Days, and I just printed out hers. I really liked her layout. I liked the colors. It was easy enough for me to follow, and I will link that in the description below. The only issue with, or the only problem that I had with it was it's not editable. So I couldn't go in and change some of the categories that she had listed because some of these things I just don't use. And the reason that I actually printed it was because I do like to have a paper copy, and I make notes on my budget sheet with confirmation numbers and different things like that. So I actually do like writing on it, and sometimes I don't always have a chance to get to my computer at that moment, and I want to not miss anything. What I have in this binder. The first thing that I have is, of course, my monthly budget, which I always do, and I actually wrote up here on the top of here that I updated this January 6, 2017. So that was yesterday. I think I actually paid a bill yesterday. Can't remember which one it was. It wasn't my cell phone bill. Maybe my cable bill. But I paid a bill yesterday, and then I uploaded some something else that I got. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, anytime I make an update to the budget, I do try to make sure that I mark it that I updated it. The next thing that I have in here on my budget sheet, I just made some notes of some things I needed to get. I'm thinking about getting a post office box and having a no spend January. Kids commissions pick back up next week, and then I had for the long guy that he was coming back next week because for the month of December he didn't work because we didn't have a lot of stuff we needed done. Well, I just made myself some notes. Now, this is the month at a glance. And again, remember this came from 30 Handmade Days, and I'll link that in the description below. And all she did was she listed out for me. Let me see if I can get this. I'm going to put the notebook down and just bring the page out so you can see. She listed out for me the month. Up here at the top, you put in the month. So I have January 2017. Then she put in what was my starting balance, which I put there. That's your starting balance. And then what bills you have. Now, she did not have a place for tithing, and so I did put my tithing in there, as well as we partner with another ministry. So I put that in because she didn't have any spaces for that, and she had them as extras. They're not really bills or extras for us. Staples is what we do every month before we pay any other bills. We always pay our tithe, and we always pay our partnership with that other ministry that we belong to. So she listed here mortgage, health insurance, car insurance, homeowners insurance. Then she had a couple other things on there. Let's see, car payments. She had 2 car payments. Now, I don't have a car payment. So what I actually did was I whited out that section, and I put in Taekwondo, and then I put my cable bill, the electric bill, my gas for the vehicle, any water bill, and my phone bill. And then she had credit cards, 1 and 2, lawn care. And for phone, I just put that as my cell phone, since my home phone is rolled into my cable, because we have the cable phone package, but I just have internet. We don't have actual cable. But with Time Warner, when I first got it, you got cable, internet, and cell phone. But of course, we don't have the cable anymore. We just have internet and home phone. Then on the other side, and of course, she has a lot of credit cards down here, and we don't have any credit cards. So I'm going to go through. That's what I was saying about being able to edit it, because I would have made those just some other things, but we don't have credit cards. So I'm going to white those out and figure it out for next month. Or she put extras, and for me, those are groceries. And then for savings, I have my emergency fund and then my house savings account. I do now have a separate savings account for homeowners expenses. Things like having the exterminator come out, any just general maintenance I need to have done over the house. I just keep that in a separate savings account marked specifically for home. And then at the end, she put your ending balance, and of course, after you take out all your bills, as your month ends, you'll write down what you have, which will actually be your beginning balance of the next month, which is what I'm figuring out. And then down here, she has some goals for next month. So that's what I put down here. My goals for next month, I want to pay $400 towards my student loan, and then pay $400 towards my emergency fund. And the reason I put that towards my emergency fund is 3 days before Christmas, December 22nd. December 22nd. I ended up having $500 worth of car repairs that I did not count on. I took my car in the week before to have my oil changed, and when I picked up my car from the oil change, he said, radiator has a crack in it, and your head cover gasket has a leak. And I was like, oh my goodness, okay, how much is that going to be, and can I afford to put it off a little while? He said, well, I would encourage you to go ahead and get it taken care of if you can, because you never know when it's going to go, and you know, I'd have the radiator done first. Well, here's my thought. Single mom, 2 kids, I have to have my car. We drive so much around during the week, and I was not going to take a chance that something would happen with us out there on the road. So I opted to pull money out of my emergency fund to pay for my car repairs. So that was just how it went along for me, and I didn't have that expense. But then again, when you're trying to plan for holidays and you have extra people here and holiday parties and people coming over for dinners and all these other things, it's just an extra added expense that we didn't plan for and we had to take care of. She had 11 more months at a glance, so I just printed everything out that came with the packet, And as I work on January's, it'll help me figure out what I want to do for February. The next thing she had in there was simply just a monthly ledger. And this is pretty much what you have in your checkbook. Just the date, if you withdrew or you deposited, and then how much it was and what your running total is. She just has that for the month. She also had one for the week, which I'm not sure if I will use. Just one thing for me works. The next thing she had was a savings page, and I probably should have printed out 2 of these simply because I have my emergency fund savings and then I have my household savings. So I probably will go back and print out 1 more of these pages, just this page only, to say emergency fund and household savings, because baby step number 1 in Dave Ramsey is emergency fund. So we're starting over on our emergency fund, getting that built back up. And the next thing she had in there was your outstanding debt. The only debt that I have is a student loan. I owe about $8,800. And my goal this year is to pay something extra above just my minimum amount due this year. I want to pay off about $4,000 if I possibly can. I'm going to be trying really hard to do that. So that's my plan. The next thing she had was a year at a glance, where you just have what your what you start at your checking, what you end at, and your savings start and end for each month of the year, and then your savings account, checking account totals, and then how much debt you paid and how much outstanding debt you still have. I like the at a glance sheets. It works for me. I can just look at it really quickly and keep moving. She had meals for the month. I kind of don't do monthly meal planning, but I just left it in there because it came a part of the packet. I'm going to figure out something to do with it. A grocery list she had in there, and that was the very last thing that she had. And of course, I don't use that either. But back to what my monthly budget was. And again, it's a little challenging from December to January 31st because when we get out of school, the last working day of the month for us was December 19th. So we got paid December 20th. Day of the month was the 20th. We got paid the 21st. So when you get paid in December on the 21st, you don't get paid again until January 31st. So there's about a 6-week differential that you have to kind of play with. And if you don't set aside monies for Christmas, or however you choose to divvy out, if you celebrate that holiday or whatever we do here at our house, you're tempted to dip into some of your January money because actually you got paid in December, but it's still January money, and then you kind of run short a little bit. And again, with the car expenses and stuff needing to be done, there were just some weeks where we had to shuffle some monies around just to try to cover everything. So I'll show you my budget. I just updated it yesterday. Still using the Dave Ramsey zero-based budget cash envelope system. And I'm doing something a little bit different this month, and I'll explain to you why. So here is my budget sheet, and I do this on an Excel spreadsheet. And several of you have asked for this, and I've sent it. On this side, I have all of my monthly categories, or my budget categories. If it's in red, that's a cash envelope. Now, in this column here is my projected. It's what I think my bills are going to be, or based on last month's budget sheet. In this column here is what it actually is. And then if you don't change, because I don't change any of my formulas, it tells me how much I actually spent, and then what is the percentage that I'm spending on each category, because Dave recommends that you get, only spend a specific amount on each category. Like for housing, he recommends 25 to 35% of your income go to housing. Now for us, we're at 32%, but I add in my lawn, my homeowners, taxes, and then I've got insurance in there as well. So 32% of my income goes towards my housing budget, and then for utilities it's 5 to 10%, and that is 13%. So probably, and my utility bill was twice as much this month as it was last month. And I think that's because my mom was here and we were just using up more, just more electricity. My daughter was here for all month as well. So more people, more expenses. I mean, it's just how it goes sometimes. So anyway, let's just jump into it. For my tithes and offering, let me just go back to this part. So my deposit from my bank, from my work, my payroll deposit was $2,643.54. And I didn't have any rollover from last month, no travel reimbursement, and I did have kids money this time, which I think that might have been what I updated yesterday, was putting in $250. My tithes and offerings, $435 is what I put in just from my paycheck. And then for my offering to the second ministry is $30 a month. My mortgage was $874.02. The lawn care, I actually put down $50 for lawn. $11.42 is for my cell phone insurance. $11.32 was my utility bill. Last month it was $69. $202 was my cell phone bill, and this month it was actually $209.36. My cable for last month was $70 roundabout, and this month it was $69.29. Then I had groceries. I budgeted in $160, and then transportation on my gas, I budgeted in $150. For car repairs, I budgeted in $149. See if you can see that. 149. Ooh, there we go. 49, and I ended up paying $465. So it didn't jive anywhere in there. Here on the next sheet, toiletries, we didn't have any budget for toiletries. And then for Taekwondo, I had $300. Taekwondo went up $15 a child because January 1st. So I was paying $270 or $135 a child, and now I'm paying $150. And some people would say, well, why do you pay so much for their extracurricular activities? Here's one thing. They don't get to do soccer. They don't get to do dance and all those other things because that would require me to be outside of my home more nights a week than I already am, and I don't have any more nights a week. Then when you do soccer, you got Saturday games, you got to be at this practice during the week, and then my daughter wanted to do dance, and she would have had to been on a total another side of town versus where my son was at, and so I had to make one decision as a mom. And because I'm a single mom, I work full-time, I homeschool full-time, they don't always get all the luxuries that other kids might get, or they don't have the benefit of having two parents to be able to take them to this and take them to that. So my sacrifice is to let them both take Taekwondo, and at our dojang you can go 5 days a week and you can stay for 2 to 3 hours at a time. So if I break down the number of hours that they spend at Taekwondo, I'm paying minimal amount per hour. My son actually, he's an advanced belt, so he helps in the younger class, and my daughter is in the beginning class, so he's helping in that class. So he's there. My son actually does Taekwondo for about 3 hours a day, and my daughter does it for maybe 2 hours because she doesn't help in the lower level class. And because they do homeschool, that's their PE. So they have PE 5 days a week. And then they're self-contained. They're at the dojang. I've just started on a weight loss journey, so I'm able to drop them off at the dojang, drive 5 minutes up the road to the gym, get my good workout in for about an hour, and then come back and pick them up. And so it just works for me. Maybe some people don't have that expense to be able to do that, but their dad pays for childcare, so I'm able to put money towards their PE expense. No eating out money. My student loan is only $52.29. So that budgeted out everything as far as $2,643.54. Now, the changes that I'm making this month, I don't have any envelopes. I don't have any cash. And the reason being is when I do my actual amounts, I am over on my monthly budget. So I have to make a sacrifice somewhere. So I'm doing a pantry challenge for the month of January, meaning I'm shopping out of my pantry, my fridge, and my freezer, and my deep freezer in the garage to see how much I can save in groceries. Normally I budget out $40 a week. So for me, I am taking little bits every week to do milk and cheese and eggs and all of the things that are fresh produce instead of giving myself that $40. And I am using my debit card, and I don't like that because sometimes you can be debit card heavy, and I hate that. It's super doubles this week, so I have shopped, but I'm trying to just make sure all my bills pass through my bank. And the last 2 weeks of December and the first week in January, I did not have child care expenses because my mom and my daughter were here. So they kept the kids, and I didn't have child care expenses. So all of my bills at this point have passed through, and I have about $700 just sitting in my checking account. And I think that's just residual overflow from me putting in money for the car, and then from the kids' dad sending money for them. So I'm just not taking out any cash until I know that every bill I've written has come out. Now the only thing I have to pay is my student loan, and I'll pay that online. So for me and for January, just on paper, it appears that I am over, but actually I have money in my account. And that's because I didn't have child care expenses for 3 full weeks. So no child care the last, probably 3 weeks of December, because my mom came after the first week. So 3 weeks of December and right into the first week of January, because she just went home yesterday. So no expenses. So at this point, I'm not going to pull out any cash probably until the second or third week of January, because every bill I have should have passed through my bank, and I really feel like I'm solid in that because I go through every day and just check, okay, did this pass, did this pass, did this pass, and there is money there, so I'm pretty much set. I am trying a no spend January, meaning I'm not thrifting this month. I'm not going by the Goodwill. Not going by the Goodwill. Somebody remind me that I said I'm not going by the Goodwill. Not going by the Goodwill. We're not buying any clothes. I just started Weight Watchers, and I'll be doing some weight loss journey on my channel as well. But I have plenty of clothes in my closet. The kids have undies. They have socks. So we don't need to buy anything. I've got personal items. And one other thing that I didn't mention, I probably mentioned this before, in my grocery budget, I get all of my toiletries, toilet paper, paper towels, and things like that. So as we run short, I do need to replenish those items weekly. So we should be pretty much okay with those items. But anyway, that's my monthly budget. I probably will come in. Oh, I wanted to share this. You know how I'm always telling you how the Lord is so good and He blesses me with just monies that I don't even count on or didn't ask for or nothing like that. But things just come through. So this past Tuesday, Monday, I had a friend send me a text, and she said, hey, holidays are over. Just wanted to know if you wanted to have a cup of coffee. And I said, sure. Just let me know when. She said, well, whatever day you're in town, just let me know. Now, I live in a separate town than where my kids take Taekwondo and where we are 5 days a week, so I have to go over town. And she said, well, just let me know. I said, well, I'm coming over Tuesday. She said, okay, meet me at this McDonald's. We'll have coffee and just chat. So we got there. She ordered the coffee because she invited me, so she paid for coffee. I could have paid for coffee, but she felt like paying. It was no problem. It was just a cup of coffee at McDonald's. And we sat down and we got to chatting, and she brought me a bag of candles, just some random things she had at home. She's like, these aren't new, but I know you love candles and you can have them. I want you to have them. So I was going through, and inside of the bag there was an envelope in there. It was a Christmas card. So I opened up the Christmas, reading the Christmas card, opened up the Christmas card, and inside of the card was a $100 check. And she's a dear friend, a sweet lady. I met her about 11 years ago. We started working at the same school, and she's just always been a dear friend to me. She's much older, and she would ask me to help her do things. I don't mind helping anybody. And over the years, we've just developed a relationship. It's almost like mother-daughter type relationship. But she's the sweetest lady, and she just thinks of me and my kids quite often. And she'll just, to have us meet her for lunch somewhere, or she'll meet us at the museum if she has her granddaughter, and we'll just sit and chit-chat over, while the kids are playing or whatever. And she just really blessed me. But she did say to me, she said, Shakima, buy something for yourself, because you very rarely do that for yourself, or do something for yourself. So with that money, I was able to go over and get my hair did. See, I got my hair did. As I let it grow out, it takes more to keep it done. I really need to get it done twice a month. But twice a month is like between $60 and $100, and that's really not an expense I want to do in my budget. But I'm trying to do some different things in 2017, so I got to make room for it. Usually I keep it fairly short, because I can get $15 haircut once a month and be done. But I really want to try some different things in 2017. So I did want to share with you how God knew I had a need to get my hair done, and He just met that need in His way of doing it. And He does it His way quite often, all the time, and I'm very thankful for God. Even looking at my budget sheet, where it seems like I don't have enough to meet it, but there's about $700 that's in the bank account, that if that money is still there at the end of the month, I'm going to move that into savings. I'll pull out some for groceries, move in for savings, and then we start off the next month just a little bit ahead. So if you haven't done the pantry challenge, I do encourage you. I didn't get a chance to cook yesterday because we were expecting snow, and the hairdresser said, come today, because I don't know what tomorrow's going to be like. So we scooted out real quick yesterday and got that done. But Dave Ramsey 2017 is still the way I plan to go. I'm going to keep plugging away at my debt, because I don't want to keep carrying the debt with me into another year. And I don't want to keep talking about getting rid of the debt. I want to start working on the debt. So I'm going to be doing some eBay and trying to sell whatever I can in this house just to chunk away at that debt, because it's just too much for me to try to carry. And God said His burden is easy and His yoke is light. So if I just submit to the process of Dave Ramsey and let it work for me, then my kids and I will not carry any debt into the next year, or very minimal debt into the next year. So that's my budget for January 2017. I hope you were able to pick up some tips. I do again apologize for having it not ready on the first of the month, but it's just been crazy. But we're back to routine, and I will do an update this month coming up very soon. Thank you so much for joining us. We're honored to have you. We're blessed. We don't count it or take it lightly that you come over and check on us and see what's happening on our channel. We love you. We really do. When I say that, I mean it. There's nothing you can do about it, because the love of God rests on the inside of me, and what He gives to me, I give to you. So I hope that your 2017 has started great. If you have any questions or comments about my budget, something I've shared, if you would just leave me a comment. I love those. I love to go back and just answer those and communicate with each other, so that we're building community and family here. If I can do it, you can do it. Remember, in all things give thanks. Make 2017 your best year, and we'll see you next time. Bye.